Hey guys, this is Kirob speaking, and today we are going to take a good look at the patch notes for the full release of Craft 1.0. Full release version, no longer early access. What are the big changes? How will it play, or how do I think it will play? And we shall take a solid look at those and discuss. And I have been invited to the 1.0 pre-release version, so I've been playing it for a little while already, and so far I only have good things to say about the changes. But let's take a deeper look at stuff that I may not have looked at yet, because there's a lot of detail hidden in those changes that are listed here on their Steam page. So let's go through and discuss them and see where this is headed. Alright, let's start at the top. There are over 400 unique potion orders, and by that they just mean people that are coming, like randomized NPCs that are coming, normal customers that do require you to make them a potion. Previously they did repeat a lot, and that certainly didn't feel quite right, and they became very samey, so just having this fleshed out is a very good thing. 26 unique quests for the herbalist, the mushroomer, and the dwarf miner that upgrade their assortment and develop relationships with them. That is excellent. So how many do we have here? Is 3 different trader NPCs, and that means if we just divide this number by 3, we are at something just below 9. That is a lot. And I would estimate that the dwarf miner has a few less than the mushroomer and herbalist. So previously in the 0.5 beta version, we only had the singular one as a test case, basically, where the herbalist always wanted to have a dexterity potion, and of course the mushroomer always wanted to have the dexterity potion, and the herbalist girl always wanted to have her wild growth potion. And if these are now different, that was one of my main critique points for their new interactions in 0.5, and I hope the feedback on that has improved as well. And this would be making a pretty big difference to how the game feels. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what those potion requests are, because I guess they are going to be quite wild. New haggling topics. This is cosmetic only, so it is very nice to see that it's also more fleshed out, but there's not really a big change there. You can now roleplay as the bad guy, yes. Choosing the dark path is now much more possible because there are more evil people coming to your shop. And you can choose whom to serve, of course. I would still say that it's probably not a good idea to do that early on in the game. It's not viable. So what I would like them to look into is actual benefits from doing that. Currently in the game they don't exist, or seemingly don't exist. I haven't played far enough into the evil or good categories to see if there are any benefits to it. But if you are sacrificing customers to get your reputation towards evil or good, because that is what you need to do, you will have to send away good customers to get the evil ones to show up more, and then it snowballs from there. But yes, that will be interesting to see how it plays out. I think this is in preparation of the karmic traders arriving. That will be a good change, but that's not in there for now. Tutorial can now be skipped, as you also will be seeing in my little guide series that I'm recording. I've recorded the first 6 episodes yesterday. And that will be, of course, as this video is going live, it will already be there, for the first episode at least. So check it out. I have the links to the series below, to the first episode, as well as to Craft's Steam page. You will see that they've made me a special link there too. It's not affiliated link or anything. It's just to track if you clicked it through there to get to the Steam page or not. It's nice to have some analytics on that stuff. But yes, then we have new customization icons, legendary substances, and salts. just some UI changes. It's nice to have customized stuff instead of generic things, so it's good. And then relevant ingredients and additional quest requirements. More relevant ingredients. That is pretty important. Sometimes these ingredients in the special requests that customers would be coming with were very arbitrary, random bullcrap, right? And if they make this more reasonable, it will feel way better. So I'm looking forward to seeing that play out in the end game, where this is most apparent. Some evil customers now look even grumpier than good ones. Yes, they do. I've run into a few of those. You're going to see them as well in my little playthrough in my little series for this. That is quite on the nose, and I think in the last patch notes about NPCs, I did mention that I found that I would hope that they weren't too on the nose with it, because that can a little bit take you out of it. And for the first one I discovered, it was very obvious what direction this was going in. So it was maybe, to my taste, slightly too obvious. But I've seen others where it was less obvious. So I think it's good. I think it's good where it is. So anyway, also looking forward to seeing some of that. It's just adding some nuance and gives you another hint of what they actually are. Can't hurt. All ingredients now have correct and sometimes funny descriptions. Oh, you say the poop shroom now has a correct and funny description? Okay, well, I'm certainly looking forward to that smell. And other small well, thanks. I would hope so. But yes, one problem with changelogs tends to be that you just can't cover everything. Small changes, I'm compiling changelogs for automation, of course, and it tends to be like at least a third is just thrown out because it's, who really cares about this little thing having changed there, this tooltip having changed there? Only if it's slightly bigger things they are put on there, so it's fine. Other small improvements, yes. Balance, now we're talking. Haggling on hard and very hard difficulties is now much easier. Well, that's fortunate to see, because that was just like, yeah, what the hell are you trying to do here? It's like, nope, it's not worth it. Not even going to attempt it. That was for someone who was pretty decent at haggling, I would say. I would throw that out there. I'm pretty decent at it. That was just like way too hard. It was hard to the point where it's actively bad to do so. So I'm not going to go there. But here now, more balanced reputation calculations. Right, you can now, you have now the evil ones taking away more reputation from you, and the good ones gaining you slightly less. It seems to be a lot more balanced, that when you play to serve everyone, you're staying around 0. Seems good to me. And then you can go from there. Of course, they haven't really introduced mechanics around that number yet. And this patch version doesn't do that either. But that is something they've openly talked about, that they want to implement such a thing. So laying the foundation for it and seeing where people end up and how they play with it is already an interesting thing. It at least allows you some role-playing here. You are now going to start out with 12 empty pages in your recipe book instead of just 6 at the start, and that is very nice. It was very much on the low side there previously, and it felt unnecessarily tough. And all players will get the 6 bonus ones as well. Okay, yep. Retroactively. So if you're on a save game that is from patch 0.5, then you will have 6 additional pages added to your book as well. And yeah, it's a good change. I like it. Some old potion orders are now neutral, neither evil or good. So yeah, just part of the new system for the reputation. Ingredient prices are now 2 times higher for better experience. That makes it is. what they say is for better UX, user experience. It's not for better experience like the number that you have in game, but rather it is better user experience. And I would definitely agree that they were way too cheap, or you got way too much money for your potions. Either or ends up in being the same thing. And 2x so far from my playthrough that I'm currently doing, and I'm a few hours in by now. I've recorded the first 6 episodes, and it feels great right now, the balance. It feels like you're just skirting by. If you play it perfectly, you can afford a decent amount, and I'm of course also playing as a little weird style where I try to use as little days as possible. That means the garden, which now provides some more ingredients, probably is going to say that here as well, they don't. Okay, it seems to be providing more ingredients and some more higher up ingredients right from the start as well. That should be mentioned. So if you don't use your garden much and you have to buy stuff, that it hurts. It really hurts, and it should. That feels good. Because then your potions matter more and your skills matter more. And it just feels like a more rounded experience right now. It's way better balance. So you need, what do you say? You need slightly more popularity per each popularity level. All right, fair enough. That is, the pacing is something that always needs to be worked on. And if they decided that with all these changes in there that needed to change, we're just going to see how it plays out. So far in my playthrough, this has been pretty much spot on, but I'm still in the lower levels, of course. You get significantly more. Oh, look at that. Maybe someone has watched my videos, or the outcry was very generalistic towards that. Saying that you get way too little salt, and I certainly agree. I was throwing out that the number 2x in my own series before, and I agree. Of course I agree. I've said it before. About 2 times as much salt would feel about right for how much you are investing in terms of time and ingredients. Also, you very much need that now because of this. Ingredient prices are now 2x higher, so if they didn't change this would actually make the salt twice as expensive as before. So I would almost say that with this new balance, that should have been 3x, if that is true, if I'm not having a brain fart here. But anyway, and then we have small gold popularity rebalance for some additional order requirements. Some additional order requirements were way off. Like, weak potion, I'll pay you billions. That didn't quite feel right. So I assume that is what they have been working on. New UI and UX. Well, we talked about some UX issues already there. But the new inventory system with the compass that you see right there, that you see right there. I'm on a 4K monitor, but I'm zooming into a standard 1080p resolution. So the new compass system that you have there is just brilliance. Simple, very straightforward to use, and always gives you exactly what you need so far, but I'm still in the early game, so I don't have tons of components just yet, tons of ingredients, so maybe that will change. My opinion will change, or this is as good as it seems right now. It's certainly better than the old system, I can tell you that. Very nice change. Simple and nice. Oh, I didn't even know that was a problem before, but now you can quick brew from your recipe book, even though you're already brewing something in your cauldron. That seems reasonable that you can do that. That's just a kind of quality of life thing. Trading. If you have enough money, only if you haggle well, you will now see what difficulty you need to haggle on. That is so useful. It seems like such a little thing, but in this little playthrough that I'm doing at the moment, on this latest version, I have found this useful so often already, because now you don't have billions of gold lying around, but you are always on the edge and you want to afford just the right amount. And that haggle thing showing up down there, or with the number of stars that you need to haggle on, the difficulty, so useful. And then we have some control stuff. That's fine. Better controls, controller, blah, blah, blah. Bug fixes. Let's take a look at the bug fixes. Of course, I did run into the issue of some merchants not arriving, and that's severely hampering my progress in the game, and that is, of course, fixed. And then a bug that caused customers to react incorrectly on completed additional potion requirements. Weak potions. Yeah, I remember some of those. That's good that that is fixed. The free XP along the edges of the map, that is fixed. Okay, well, that's cool. Fixed the bug that caused incorrect profit calculation when bartering, when there are items on both scales. What? Were you able to put items on both of them or something? Localization fixes. Fixed a lot of not so interesting bugs, yeah. Good. Optimizations, runs better. Cool. Features, Steam achievements, cloud support. All good and kind of standard-ish. But yeah, that is a good rounded up patch. So let me give you some comments on that in general. I've seen most of these in action already, and I've found them to be really good. It feels like a completed game, much more so than ever before. And so that is the good part. If you've played a lot of 0.5 beta version, then what you will find is that, but Kira, there aren't really any big changes in here that make me go, whoa, I'm so excited to try that out. Well, maybe here the quest line for the Herbalist, Mushroom, and Dwarf Miner. That could be pretty cool. Potion requests is not really something that you're looking forward to, but there might be some good ones, some fun ones in there. Certainly padding out content and making the content that is there more enjoyable. But there are no big ticket items here, and I think that is both smart and a little disappointing from my 0.5 veteran standpoint. I very much see why they are going for this, though. They want to have a finished base version that is a solid foundation which they can build on for future milestones, where they add, for instance, bigger features like karmic traders, and maybe a revamp of the, I really hope there will be a revamp, of the skill tree, because it kind of sucks. And maybe some more garden interactions and all that good stuff. Like, that would really be a draw. Oh, I want to try out those new garden mechanics. They seem like really cool. Or doing more stuff with the merchants. Yes, romance option when? It's a common question that is being asked, I guess. But yeah, also comic traders will be awesome. And evil characters appearing, that's cool. Maybe we're going to see some special characters that only join when you have a certain reputation. Seems to be art for them. So, very interested to see that. But, okay, back to the point. There are no big ticket items. I think it's smart and it's disappointing. And I've made the point why it's a little disappointing, because there's no big draw for veterans of 0.5. At the same time, I made the point why it's smart, and that is to make a good baseline version. And I really hope that they are in a more, let's say, shorter dev cycle. It's going to add some more features that have some draw to keep the retention in this game. And I think they have something really solid here. I have not run into any issues so far with this new version. Also, I haven't gotten as deep as I did on my previous playthroughs yet, but so far everything just seems solid, feels well-rounded, and feels like a really damn good game. So, take that for what it is. If you have still been holding back on buying the game and are waiting for my opinion on it, then I can give you the go-ahead and say, yeah, this game is definitely worth buying. It's a really solid one. If you are wondering if you should get back to the game and you just have played 0.5, a playthrough of 0.5, I would say that that's really up to you if you feel the urge to, but this is not a version where you really need to jump back in and play. If you only played 0.5 a little bit, or you have only played previous versions, older versions, then I say, hell yeah, go and jump in. This is way better. So, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed, and you are going to enjoy 1.0 of Potion Craft. Please take a look at the links below, and also my series on the game. It has been a lot of fun so far. So, hope you enjoyed, and see you guys next time.